Barbershop Conversation, guys. Feel free to hit the subscribe button. So the debate just ended, and I thought it was the cleanest debate we have seen. I thought Donald Trump edged her by a bit, just by a little bit more under control attacks. Hillary's has been saying the same thing over the past 3 debates, but where people get lost and confused at is her ability to talk policy much greater than Donald Trump. Some of what Donald Trump is rhetoric. I'm not sure all of it is true. I don't do much fact checking. I just read articles, and if I believe the article, I'll believe that. But what he said at the end of the debate is what resonates within me. When you look at Hillary Clinton smiling, and then you walk out your door to your corner store, and you look around, you see an abandoned building, you see a derelict, you see 3 or 4 14-year-old kids run by you on a skateboard, you see graffiti, and you look at Hillary Clinton smiling, because she's going to win this election, and you look at Hillary Clinton smiling, knowing she's going to get 80+% of the black vote, 80+% of the Latino vote, and we do nothing to hold her accountable. Now, as I tell you guys, we fail to ask the question why, and I think religion has forced us to believe this. I'm sorry, I'm jumping from a pond to a river, from a river to an ocean, but religion has made us so docile that we don't question authority, right? From the pastor to our school teachers to our priests to our elected officials. But we must ask the question. Blacks and Latinos, in part, has been oppressed because of the 3-strike rule, right? The 3-strike rule, has come into an existence under Bill Clinton, quote unquote, our first black president, and Hillary stood by his side. So Hillary Clinton is a part of that 1% that she's pretending not to support. All she's gonna do, listen to me, fully understand. Mark Zuckerberg is great at this. Phil Knight is great at this. All these billionaires, they live through their non-profit. Fully understand what I'm saying. So you do not get taxed on your quote-unquote income. You show an extreme loss. You show depreciation, and you open up a non-profit, and you run your profits through your non-profit. So you save double. So you get exempt from your nonprofit, and you raise your tax. You lower your taxable income because you have donated to your nonprofit dollar for dollar. So let's be clear. They're going to bamboozle all out uninformed quote unquote minorities in this country, and they're going to believe that Hillary Clinton is going to take us. And it's like saying, do you want to get shot once in the head or twice in the head? Either way, you're going to die. Hillary Clinton will do nothing for you. She's a much better speaker and much more profound speaker on that DS than Donald Trump. So I'm watching this debate, and it's just bewildering that all this propaganda, man, all this propaganda, and nothing will change. Every 2 days, every 2.5 days, a police officer will kill an unarmed minority in America. Those are facts. 75 to 80%, depending on where you go, Americans will be living from paycheck to paycheck. And every time they throw out that $250,000 number, you guys should be challenging that. And why that should be challenging that is because think about this. You quote unquote, I don't know, but for the sake of this argument, the more money you make, the harder you work, right? I'm not saying that's true. I'm just saying, just for the sake of this argument, if you work harder, right? So you have 2 parents who work 2 jobs, right? They both work $80,000 a year jobs, right? they're both full-time school teachers, and then at night they're full-time professors. They make over $250,000. They have 4 kids. Now, only 2 of them can get the earned income tax credit, but because they make over $250,000 a year, they will get taxed more according to Hillary Clinton. Think about that for a second. And it's just disheartening that we have been fooled, because the 250,000 number is a play upon poor people's emotions, right? 125, that's pretty common. $100,000 is pretty common for 2 parents, right? And it's just sad that they're using these idioms, right, to trick us. The harder you work in this country, the more you will be taxed. Isn't that a sad truth? So, I mean, I'm not mad at Donald Trump for using the tax code for his benefits. People do it all the time, and I'm gonna start doing videos on how to hide your money and raise your income, so you too can be more like Donald Trump in terms of paying less taxes, because taxes tear you apart. I wish I can, I don't want to make my stuff, but I pay quarterly taxes. It's disheartening. It's a hurtful feeling when you have to pay quarterly taxes, and so it just bothers me that you work hard. You guys know I have multiple jobs, multiple strands of income. Well, if you don't know, if you put my videos together, you'll realize that. And you just work hard. That $250,000 number shouldn't. Well, you made $250,000. You should be taxed more. Well, how about if you have 4 kids? How about if you're taking care of your mother or father with cancer, or your brother or sister, who has special needs? Think about that. So don't be misled by these now social engineered words or phrases that have now we call buzzwords to make you say, yeah, I'm a Democrat. Your dumbass is a Democrat because you're a minority, not because you believe in policy. That's the majority of the Democrats, right? I was a Democrat. I'm still a registered Democrat, but I vote Republican, I vote Democrat. And I learned a lot. I'll tell you guys a story. I had a multi-million-dollar client when I had a training business, right? And he was probably one of my more highest paying clients. And I had the opportunity to meet Meg Whitman, was one of his classmates. And I had the opportunity to talk to Meg Whitman. She was running for governor of California, about money and policies. And I don't agree with I didn't agree with necessarily what she said or do, but the logistics of it, right? You don't have to necessarily agree with the genius or a person who make money, but understand their logistics, their roadmap to get to where they are, right? And I learned a lot from that conversation about self-preservation is the law of the land, especially when it comes to fiscal capital, all right? I'm not talking about health and giving your kidney to your brother, your sister. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about sustaining capital power. And that's the problem we have. If we learn the tax code as a quote-unquote minority in this country, to my Asians, blacks, and Latinos, if we learned the tax code, guess what? We would be more profitable. If blacks shop with blacks, Latinos shop with Latinos, Asians shop with Asians, the world would be a better place. Fiscally, America would be a better place, because we are empowering our neighbors. And what I mean by our neighbors, people who are in the same demographic as us, we are empowering each other. Now, what we tend to do is go buy Versace chain, Gucci belts, which does not in turn empower America. That money goes overseas, right? Right? They just imported the goods, and the store gets the 10 to 20% for subletting the material, whatever the case may be, and you go forward. So fully understand that we have to learn to invest in ourselves. And what I mean by ourselves is people who are similar to us, similar demographics, And what rich people do is they invest in rich products, which are in turn mostly imported to America. So these are just food for thoughts, guys. I'm a registered Democrat, one, because I voted for President Obama. I voted for him because he was black. Feel free to call me a racist asshole in the comments, but that's just it. But the next election, I will be an independent. I won't be able to vote in the primary, but I'm going to be an independent from this point forth. And I think I'm watching this debate. And Hillary Clinton said nothing about blacks, said nothing about Latinos, said nothing about Asians, because she has conceded that she will get 85% of y'all vote. Facts. Nothing on inner city. She never willingly gives information on inner cities and making inner cities better. Never. It's always a response. It's a call, then her response. Why should she interrupt the fact that she's going to win the minority vote in America? I wouldn't, right? If the goal is to become president, if I was in her shoes, I would never mention blacks. I would never mention Latinos. Let Donald Trump say they're terrible and just rebuttal him, right? It just makes sense, right? So, barbershop conversation, guys. It's just food for thought. I'm going to do another part after I digest. The debate literally just ended, as long as this video is. And so I'll probably do another reaction video. But I thought Donald Trump edged her out slightly, 55-45. Just because of his willingness, you know, to go to the edge and jump. Hillary Clinton ain't going to the edge and jump. No, but she'll go outside. She'll go to the mountain, but she ain't climbing to the top, but she don't have to. She don't have to take that risk. So, but some of you may say arbitrary. Well, Donald Trump is the underdog. He has to take more risks. Maybe. And then you have to think, Donald Trump is the Republican nominee. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with the Bradley effect. The Bradley effect is when I believe Tom Bradley ran for governor of California. And people said that he was going to win. Like, they did polls. Oh, he's going to win in a landslide. Why are we even having this election? And the polls suggested that. Publicly, white people said they were going to vote for Tom Bradley. Silently, they voted for his opponent. So that's called the Bradley effect. So maybe we may have a Trump effect. I have no idea. But this will be an interesting last 3 weeks because it's going to get scandalous now. As you guys feel free to watch my video about Donald Trump being treated like a nigga, because when America don't want you to win, they don't want you to win. He will upset everything about America in terms of the top 1%, not in terms of us. Listen, guys, nothing changes if we don't change. That's it. They're going to play upon our impoverished minds and keep the train on the railroad tracks. It's a barbershop conversation. My strike may be up. I got to double check. Maybe my strike is up by now, so I got to end this video. But barbershop conversation. Feel free to hit the subscribe button. Tell a friend to subscribe to our channel, and we can keep this train on the railroad tracks. Talk to you guys soon. Peace.